Hey guys, what's up? It's Jim Chandler with Rock Your Best Vocals here, where your best keeps getting better. I just wanted to go through some singing secrets and what's in my pro toolkit. I'd like to know what's in your singing, your gigging toolkit down below, so if you guys would leave a comment down below. So, let's just get straight to it. So, first of all, the night before, you have to get plenty of rest, okay? Everybody knows that, but not everybody practices it. If you don't get enough rest for whatever reason, you were up partying, you had to work late the night before, try to get some rest about an hour and a half, 2 hours before the gig. Maybe get a 20-minute nap. 20 minutes is the optimal nap length, so if you have to get a nap, make it 20 minutes. No longer, no shorter. Okay, and throughout the day, you want to drink enough water. Make sure you have enough water throughout the day. Try to drink, maybe 4 of these throughout the day. I don't know, they say like, a gallon or something, but I always try to drink lots of water. The faster you drink it, the less you have to taste it. Water, some people don't like the taste of water. A lot of people like the taste of coffee. Avoid coffee. Too much coffee will dehydrate you. And then that counteracts all of this you've been doing. So, I love coffee. Don't drink too much of it. Okay, so before the gig, the prep, you got to warm up everything. You want to warm up your body and your mind and your vocals. So, your body, about maybe a half an hour before the gig, do some jumping jacks or maybe run in place, something to get your lungs used to taking in air, okay? So just get your body warmed up for it. Then get your mind warmed up by visualizing the gig going completely perfectly. This really works, okay? So try it. Visualize yourself singing perfectly. Visualize, there being no mistakes, the crowd going crazy, oh yeah, everybody loving it. Visualization really works. Try it and let me know how you get on there in the comments below if you haven't ever tried it. If you do try it, also let me know what you think of it. What do you do for your visualization? And then your voice. You want to warm your voice up for about 10 or 20 minutes. You can do that for about an hour, do that anywhere from about an hour to half an hour before the gig. Don't go too crazy. Just do some lip trills, just something to say so you work out the kinks, okay? Any warm-up that works for you is a good warm-up. I've known so many different people that do totally different warm-ups, and whatever works for you is the best. I wouldn't kind of try to dictate any warm-ups to anybody. But the key to a warm-up, the key to any good warm-up is just working through the kinks, okay? So that's what you have to do. If it means hitting one spot, if you got a rough spot, where your break is, okay, you're there. So just making sure, if you hit it, okay, I'm a little bit rusty there. To get it to where you're comfortable with that, okay? But don't overdo it because you're going to have to sing a gig, so don't wear your voice out before the gig. So, also before the gig, I like to have some green tea. This is matcha tea. This is, again, wait, I didn't say before, so not again, but firstly, this is not an endorsement. This is not sales. None of these are. This is not a paid advertisement or whatever. I just do all this stuff and I use all these products. Not necessarily this. This is okay, for instance. But anyway, it's not a paid advertisement. I use matcha tea before the gig. It kind of it's very good for the mind, it's very good for the body. It gives you a little bit of energy before the gig. I always just put it in this incredible thermos thing that I have, and I drink it on the way to the gig, wherever that may be. Avoid stimulant drinks. Avoid these. They just make you feel like crap, like after you drink them. It's all chemicals and everything. Look at this. I'm going to read this off if you don't know, even though I don't have my glasses. Water, sucrose, glucose, acidifier, citric acid. Okay, I know what that is. Carbon dioxide, okay. Taurine, what the hell is that? I don't know what it is. Taurine? That's like a made-up thing. 0.4%. I don't really know what that is, but anyway. Acidity regulator, sodium carbonate, magnesium carbonate, caffeine. There's your caffeine. Vitamins, they say. Vitamins, nice. Like, okay, blah, blah, blah. Flavorings, colors, caramel, riboflavin. A lot of that stuff you don't really need in your body. Sometimes if I'm kind of low on energy, low on vitamins, I'll take one of these things. Again, this is not a paid advertisement, but this is called Baraka Boost. It's got a little bit of a caffeine kick to it, but the key thing in here, it's got vitamins. It's got B12, and a B12 gives you energy. B12, vitamin D, those things give you energy. So go straight to the vitamins. Don't go down to like ingredient number 12 where it says vitamins, okay, after sugar and crap and taurine, made up kind of, I don't know what that is. I think that's a made up thing. I don't know, I'll look it up. No, I won't. Actually, you can look it up and then let me know in the comments below if you look it up and you find out that it's something that's organic or something. But you know what, anyway, stray away from these because these make you feel, I feel like crap when I drink those things. I used to be addicted to those, but anyway, I won't bag on those too much. And then sinuses. Sometimes, like, I used to have really bad sinus problems before I stopped eating any dairy. Okay, so I used to have just, you know, kind of milk and coffee, cappuccinos, cheese, all that kind of stuff, and dairy, and it would really give me bad sinus problems. I used to rely on sinus decongestants a lot, like Sudafed was one that I used to take. I used to have to take it regularly because I was always congested, always nasal, and I couldn't breathe, and then I couldn't sing during the gig if I couldn't breathe. So then I was taking nasal spray, like Sudafed nasal spray, and that actually started to do the opposite. It started to kind of make me not be able to breathe after I used it. So it was kind of like heroin or something. It was like it would help me to get through the gig, then the next day I couldn't breathe. Then it'd help me to get through the next gig, and then it'd be worse. So since then I switched over to using just saline nasal spray. Now this comes out in a really fine spray. I don't know if you can see that, but it's super fine. You only have to give like just that little bit of a shot up in your nose, each nostril. I always make sure I wipe it off after, you know, so you're not transferring any gunge or, you know, whatever virus from one to the other. Wipe it off. Trying to, you don't have to jam it way up in your nose either. I mean, I know that's nice and long thing, but you don't have to jam it up in your nose because the spray, you could see, I don't know if you could see it, but man, it goes up to like there. It's like 1.5 feet. Anyway, that helps me get through a gig. You just do that through it, and then it kind of really clears it out if you're feeling a little bit nasally or something, if you had a cold. That got me through last week after I was kind of coming out of the sickness. Anyway, that's enough for that. So during the gig you want to have water. Okay, so I keep water in a container like this. Don't use pints. You put a glass like that on the stage, somebody's going to kick it over. It's going to go all over everything. It's going to go over the plugs. It's going to go over whatever. If there's carpet, there's wood. You know, if there's a wood floor, it's going to go all the wood floor. You're going to slip and kill yourself. So put it in something that's not going to knock over and spill. If this knocks over, look, it's sealed. The other thing is, if you do have to get, you don't have this, I forgot this, shoot, okay, keep this somewhere safe, but don't put ice in it. Ice is really bad for your singing voice, okay, so it kind of, it tightens up the vocal cords, and it makes it more, like, it's not good for your voice, okay, let's just put it that way. It's not good for your voice. It tightens up your vocal cords. I don't know, it does something bad to them. If you do use ice and it works for you, fine, but like I've found that it's not good for mine, so I recommend don't use an ice in your drinks, okay. Then the other thing is earplugs. You gotta have earplugs. Now, so you can use just these DIY kind of spongy things here, but I also have some kind of, these are particular filters in there for music, so they filter out all the bad stuff and you can still hear the music that's going on. The reason why I'm saying earplugs is not because I don't like loud music, because I do. I dropped one. I do like loud music, but if I can't hear myself singing, it kind of defeats the purpose. You also don't want to rely on the monitors, because the monitor guy has enough going on with all the other members in the band, and you know, you really should be able to look after yourself throughout the gig. Like if you can't hear in the monitor, you know, don't be screaming. The other thing, another tip is don't scream at the sound guys and go, give me this, more of that, blah blah blah. Nobody likes a diva, you know, when you're screaming, you know, oh, I need this, can't hear this, you know, like nobody, the guy's busy enough, like, you know, if you do need something more, respect the guy. They have a job to do, and it's just as important as yours, no matter who you are. I don't care who you are, how high level you think you are singing. Everybody has a job to do, and everybody is just as important to get through the gig. But anyway, earplugs, if you keep them in, you can hear yourself sing. You can jam them in farther, and you know, if you have to pull them out a little bit to hear where you're pitching against all the other music, then do that. But for goodness sake, like, don't just rely on the monitor and use that as an excuse. I couldn't hear myself in the monitor, that's why I was pitchy. Nobody wants to hear that. You were pitchy because you were pitchy. So, you know, be a professional and look after yourself. Figure that out. If you guys stay on to the end, I'm going to give you a bonus tip, a really hot, cool bonus tip that I use during the gig. But one thing to avoid is lozenges, okay? Again, this is not a paid advertisement. They aren't paying me to not advertise these. But these kind of lozenges, sometimes that you know, they soothe your throat. Yeah, that's cool. Like, I mean, I would take some of these the odd time. If I have a sore throat, I might take one of these, but not during a gig day, because what it does, it gives you a false sense of security. It makes your throat numb, and especially if you're going to sing, don't do it with one of these going in, because what it does is it numbs your throat, and you end up pushing through a note because you can't feel the pain. You end up pushing through it, and it makes it worse. So don't use those, okay? Oh, they went down behind them. Anyway, so after the gig, you get home, and say your throat's a little bit sore for whatever reason. Maybe you're screaming a little bit too much, and you didn't scream correctly. You used a little bit bad technique. It happens to everybody. Sometimes you slip in your technique and you use kind of a little bit bad technique. Salt water. Gargle with salt water. This is just normal table salt. Put a teaspoon salt water in a coffee mug, and then kind of fill it with hot water about halfway. Let it cool down to room temperature, a little bit warmer than room temperature maybe, and then gargle it just so it's nice and soothing on the throat. So gargle for, try to do for about 2 minutes. Okay, and you might have to spit it out. You don't swallow it. For whatever you don't swallow it, because I've swallowed it a few times and it makes you feel like you're going to throw up. It's like swimming in the sea and swallowing that. But gargle it, spit it out, gargle it, spit it out. Try to do that 3 times over 2 minutes, and you'll find that's really soothing. Try to do that, and then don't drink anything after. Just let that salt sit on there and soothe. And then after a while, I love this stuff. Again, this is not a paid advertisement, but I should get paid by these guys. I should endorse. I should buy stock in these, because I take enough of these. I love these. Throat Comfort, Yogi Tea. Love this stuff. The day after a gig, man, if your throat's a little bit sore or whatever, or even if you're sick or whatever, if your throat's a little bit sore, these things are amazing. It has Ayurvedic blend. I don't know why Ayurvedic blend with licorice, fennel, and thyme, and it's caffeine free as well. So you can drink that before bed or whatever. So that's what's in my gig toolkit. Again, let me know what's in your gig toolkit down below. I hope you like this video. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. You get your bonus, which is, this is a must-have when you're singing. For me, anyway. I don't know if it works for you guys, or if you've ever tried it or you haven't tried it, but I live by gum in my mouth when I'm singing, okay? Because if you can't get to this, to drink water, and your throat's dry, you may be nervous, you may just have a dry throat, or just you're real energetic gig and you're trying to you're breathing in a lot, okay, and your throat is dry. This always helps to keep your throat moist, okay, and that really soothes you through the gig. And if you can't get to this, you can't be really singing with a dry throat. Well, I mean, you can, but it's really difficult. So I always keep some gum in my pocket. Always have this. It's my ritual. Like, I have to have gum. Like, otherwise, almost like the gig's off. Like, I mean, I could do it without it, but it's like, oh man, geez, what am I gonna do? Okay, right. So to make sure I have the water like really at hand. But this is just so handy to have. Keep a piece of gum in your mouth. You don't have to be chewing it the whole time if you can keep it down on the side. One thing though, be careful. If you have the gum in your mouth, just be careful. There's a few times where I've been singing and nearly inhaled the gum, so just be careful. And there's a few times where it's fallen out of my mouth. Yeah, so just be careful when you have it in there. You don't want to like spit it out inadvertently on stage, and you definitely don't want to inhale it or swallow it. Not nice experiences. So that's your bonus for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I know it's been a long one. I'm not going to edit this because that's a pain in the ass to edit. It just takes so long with my computer. I don't know why. I'm going to figure something out because I like to edit them, but the last one took me like 2 days and it was killing my mind. So I hope you guys like this. If you did like it and you stuck all the way to the end, thank you very much for watching. I know it was long and tedious and probably very painful to get to this stage, but thank you if you did stay to the end. If you liked it, please hit like down below. That really helps the channel for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe you didn't like it, but hit like anyway if you didn't like it, please. Thank you. And hit subscribe if you did like it and you want to see them. Hit the notification bell so you can see when all these really cool unedited videos come. Unedited. When all these cool future unedited videos come out. Eventually they will be edited, but not this one. I'm not doing it. But thanks again for watching. Until next time, thank you very much. And rock your best vocals! Even if you need a toolkit that takes forever to describe. Okay. Thanks, guys. Take care.